Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round number 3 here of the Refined Racing League Porsche Cup season number 1. Apologies for the small delays, having a few little troubles with the stream, but we are now underway and all sounding perfect. I hope everyone has enjoyed the break for a couple of weeks while we get ready. For round number 3. It's certainly been an interesting one, to say the least. And we've got a very, very good race on our hands. We are at Lime Rock Park. However, we are at the classic Lime Rock Park. You can see on the track map there, this is a slightly different layout to the one that you would be potentially used to, especially when it comes to the more traditional layout with the chicane involved. So that could be something that you are maybe more familiar with, but this particular session we are going to be in this particular race, we're going to be running the classic circuit that goes through turn 1 down into 2, 3, and then instead of going through the chicane, instead you go through a very, very fast right-hander uphill, and that gives you the drive, it gives you the run down into the final 2 corners, and that's a very, very quick final 2. That's a very, very quick final 2 corners there. So that is something that is very, very something that may catch a few drivers out. We'll have to see as we go. But everyone just currently out on their warm-up laps. They've got another few moments to go. And then we will be jumping into the final... jump to the final couple of moments, and then we'll be running into qualifying. But overall, looking up to be very, very good. In fact, we are just about to change over to qualifying. Yes, we are. Open qualifying, remember here. Open qualifying for this event. So we're just going to move over to the grid. You can see drivers already making their way out on the circuit. They are certainly not hanging about. Who have we got? Just want to jump it straight away. I believe that is who we've got. There's loads of people getting out on track already. Again, why would you not? If you're able to get out on circuit, you may as well get out early and get some laps under your belt early. Tan Jacobs goes out for the number 24. One of the first people to actually be out on the circuit. Just go. You can hear, so you can just hear this. You'll just be able to hear this on the stream. Is as the cars go over. That's certainly not the line that Tan Jacob would have wanted. Callum McIntyre just getting caught out a little bit there on the nearly getting caught out on the run down. Ferdinand Kurtzen in the 898. Just going through it. Everyone, we won't be seeing laps for a few moments. We'll be seeing laps in probably the next 10 or 15 seconds. And then we'll be able to jump back out. You can see it. All 4 wheels are being lifted. Well, maybe not the foot. Depends how fast you're going, to be fair. But you might not see all 4. You might see the top, the front 2 wheels get lifted. You might not see you might not see the other 3. I doubt the rear 2 will be lifted. That's certainly the last thing that you want. But who knows? If you get fast enough, then certainly no reason why that can't happen. First laps coming across the board now, providing they have not got any off tracks. If they've got off tracks, then it will not count. And the laps simply won't count. There is Callum McIntyre. 797, the Callum Races liveried car. And we now have the first times coming in. And that is going to be Anthony Nagel with a 49.833. This is a very, very fast lap. As soon as you remove that car, as soon as you remove that chicane, this becomes a very, very fast circuit. It's a fast circuit anyway. Ryan Ottens goes in up to P1 now with a 49.691. That is currently the time to beat. Tim Haynes has got a very, very good run. He did have a very good run going in down into turn 1. Unfortunately, that's not going to be a lap for him. Ryan Ottens is still that person up ahead at 49.691. It's a very, very fast lap. So we're going to have to see if that's going to get beaten. I'm sure as more people get used to what they're doing, as more people get used to the races. Oh, Paul Gerber's had a little bit of a pirouette I couldn't quite see who he got there. That's number 38. I can't quite see who that is. I believe the number 30, that's Stephen Koenig. They got tangled up a little bit there. Jason Gibson for the Team Tryhard Racing Amcar. Up into P13 he goes. Again, the gaps, the intervals between the drivers. Anything that's in orange means it's less than half a second. Anything above and that's in yellow means it will be over half a second. Up to a second. So it's a pretty tight field as it stands at the moment. If we move over to what would be the actual gap between the drivers, you can see there. So the gap between, so the top 10, 1.1 seconds separates the top 10. Yanaman Bruis just goes up into P2, but then straight away is decided, look how close it is. Can you get any closer at the top there? Anthony Nagel, Callum McIntyre, they've only gone in about 200. There's a thousandths between the two, and there's only 4,000 between Ryan Otter, between the entire top three. It's getting very close. Andrew Barber just slots into P12 that you can see there. Few people still haven't managed to set any laps at the moment. Again, that may change. There's Jeff Hancock's coming down the start-finish line. This should be a flyer of a lap. Jeff Hancock's currently in P17. Does he improve this lap? He does indeed. He goes P8. A good, impressive lap there from Jeff Hancock's. What have we got down? Johan Grobler coming down. There is a four-wheel lift. There is a four-wheel lift. That's pretty insane. I think Callum McIntyre, he has Callum McIntyre straight out of the gate. 2.5 tenths quicker than Tim Haynes, who just got into P2, and 2.5 tenths quicker than Simon Zerke, who's just got in P3. So that gap and how close that time was, that's certainly not close anymore. 2.5 tenths is Callum McIntyre is now ahead by. Certainly got the upper hand as it stands at the moment. We'll have to see if that continues. And I wonder if we're going to ride on board for a couple of laps with Callum McIntyre. We're 5 minutes into qualifying. Another 10 minutes left to go. It's a very busy track. We've got around about 24 cars potentially out on circuit at any one time. So it's certainly going to be a busy race as well. Marius Pretorius is one of the drivers that hasn't set a lap yet from the Pokemon Racing number 17. And you can see the Pokemon liveried up car looking very, very striking. That looks very, very cool, actually. I like that. Oh, goes a bit deep down into turn one. That would have cost him another lap. And someone else has decided that they want to follow him as well. So I'm not entirely sure what was going on there, but that is by the by. So still unable to set a lap. Another person that hasn't quite set a lap yet is Daniel Rowe from the Hybrid Academy, number 43. 6 minutes of qualifying has gone. This is going to be an out lap from him. No, it isn't. This is actually a flying lap. P17 does go Daniel Rowe. And Tim Haynes has actually just pipped Callum McIntyre up on the top step by 0.04 of a second. You can just see that time again. These times will continue to come down as more drivers get used to it, as the track rubbers in a little bit. There's a bit of smoke there. Couldn't quite see what that was from. But either way, I wonder what else are we going to see? I'm sure, again, those times are going to have to come down. That 49, we're definitely going to see a 48. And I'll tell you why, because we're going to see a 48. It's because Luke Jesse has just got in with a 49.068. So a 48 is definitely on the cards. Does Daniel Rowe increase? Yes, he does. Look at that. He's gone 6 tenths now behind in P7. So the top 14 now separated by 1 second. Jeff Hancock's just outside that in P15 with 1.1 seconds ahead. Jesse, is he going to improve on his time? Last lap was a 1:49.068. No, last lap was a 1:49.17. So pretty close. Very, very close indeed. No improvements yet. There is Callum McIntyre. Let's ride on board with Callum McIntyre for a couple of laps and just see how he attacks a fantastic circuit that is Lime Rock Park. Well, that is certainly how you don't want to negotiate that, do you? That was not the best, not the best execution of that particular corner. But either way, Callum McIntyre still doing very, very good. Still in P2. Tim Haynes 2/10 down on Luke Lucchesi. Very, 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 very good lap there by Tim Haynes. Ferdinand Kurtzen is in P18 with Du Gerber. Now in P19, just actually dropped down into P20 again by Yaz Samai, who's now... Look at that, the top 20. There's the entire field, pretty much. The entire field. If we go down to Dean Cabassa, the entire field, Stephen Koenig and Dean Cabassa, those times I'm sure will come down. But have a look, P22, it's 1.7 seconds. Seems like quite a lot. But you've got, 22 drivers here. This is a close... This is certainly a close race. This is going to be a close race. It's going to be a very tricky race as well. Especially because you've got 25 cars. It's standing starts as well, bear in mind. That's another thing to consider. Standing starts can certainly play a big, big factor into, if you get a good start, I mean, you're laughing. You can make up 2, 3, 4 positions on the start quite easily if you do have a good start and others around you have a particularly average or poor one. Gerber. 5/10. Whoa! That's a big, big incident there. Callum definitely got got involved. Unfortunately, there. That's certainly again something that I'm sure he doesn't want to have. Doesn't want to have happen. Unfortunately, pushing that car as much as he possibly can. And in fact, let's see if we can get a replay of that. Here is the Pixel Wave replay coming in. So Callum McIntyre, you can see McIntyre going through down into turn. This is coming down into the quick flip as you go through turn 2 down into turn 3. You can see the car there, very, very bouncy. And there is the rotation on the grass. And at that point, manages to hold it one way, can't quite hold it another. And unfortunately, that was always going to end, I think, in that fashion. A bit of a shame there from McIntyre, but it's only qualifying. There's less than 5 minutes to go. Still in P3, so still in a very, very respectable position. Gerber has actually pulled his time down a bit by a tenth or so, 10th and a half. He's now into P5 overall. Only a 10th. He does come into the pits. He's the 100 ahead of Ryan Ottens. This is going to be a very, very close race. Like, a very close race. Tristan Dino-Brega. P14 overall, the number 70. Any signs of improving lap times? Not at the moment. Everyone will be coming in for their pit stops, their final pit stops, and then they'll be coming to do their very, very last... they'll be coming to do their last run. I imagine the last runs will be probably lasting anywhere in the region of maybe sort of 2 to 3 laps. You can see how aggressive going. That is definitely a four-wheel lift, completely off of the side. Fantastic to see here. The one thing, with Lime Rock Park, these cars are pretty fast for a track like Lime Rock. And in this situation, they are going fast. There's not that much downforce on them either. So you will get that. You will get that pretty heavy lift. Last lap was a 50.29 for Nobrega, so no improvement. He's got to get under in his best lap. He's got to basically get into the 49s. He's done a 50.01. That is his fastest lap time. You can see a lot of people on their final out laps. And, I don't know who that was. Anyway, someone managed to escape just in the nick of time. There's Jeff Hancock. So unfortunately, he's going to quickly jump back to the pits to get another set of tyres. I imagine in a couple of moments, you see him in the pits now, as well as Yanaman Pruis, as well as Andrew Barber as well. So they'll all be coming out on their out laps now. So where can you maximise the time? Where are you going to be able to bring you into that? You've got to bring yourself into a window as well, bear in mind. You can't just jump out and hope for the best. You have to calculate where you're going to be coming in. Callum McIntyre has jumped into the pit lane. He's now on pit exit, so he'll be doing one. He'll get a chance for one more flying lap, possibly 2, if he can get round the circuit quick enough. There we go. You can see on the outlap as well, it's someone else that's gone off. Is that the number 55? It looked to be the number 55 of Jason Gibson. Might be able to come out and just get another lap in. That's another car off. Couldn't quite see who that was. It might have been Tafani, Ricardo Tafani. Yeah, using all of the track and a little bit more is Ryan Ottens. Coming down into the final corner. You'll have a chance for 2 more flying laps. We now are on board with the chopper cam. Down to turn 1. Keeps it tight on the inside. The last lap was a 49.77. His fastest lap was a 49.41. So he's got 3 tenths to make up if he wants to give his time down. Yatsumai's just gone up into P19. You can just see in the bottom left of your screen there. A lot of people in the pits. A lot of people in the pits. So they have decided that that is their qualifying over. And they are happy where they are. We may see a couple more positions happen. Anyways, that is Lucchesi just there in front of... Can't quite see who that is. He's behind there. Arguably, he's going to get a bit of a run. Is this going to be an improved time? Doesn't look like it on the sector times. 1 more lap to go here for these drivers. So Lucchesi goes in, down into turn 1, keeps it controlled on that entry. Last thing you want to do is to get on the throttle just a little bit too early. The car will snap on you almost instantly if you're not careful. Through 3 and then into 4. Very static camera shot. You can see just how much curb is being used here as well. That's what I find absolutely fascinating. Is the amount of curb that these cars are able to use. Listen to the lift. There we go. Straight down. Absolutely. It sounded like he was absolutely flat out there, to be fair. Final 2 corners for Lucchesi for the final lap that he is going to be able to do. Down into the last corner. Uses all the track available. Clips the inside of the curb. And then on that exit, running down. He did do a purple or a best sector 3 last lap. Is that going to be enough? It is not. A few tenths off. What's Callum McIntyre going to do? He is coming down to the final couple of corners at the moment. There's no green sectors that I can see. He did actually have a green final sector. Sector 3. Is Sector 4 going to be any different? We'll have to see. Does he improve on his time? He's only got to gain about half a tenth even. And does he improve? No, he doesn't. It's close, though. It's very close. Last lap was only a tenth and a half quicker, tenth and a half slower than his best lap. So some consistency there from McIntyre in the 7.97. Few more drivers still left to go. And then we'll be finishing up and then heading down into the grid and heading down into the race as well. In fact, that is everyone. We're going to take a short break.
Basic human rights.
We're going to take a apologies. We're going to take a short break while we just go to one of our sponsors, and then we'll come back with the grid. Stay tuned.
Basic human rights: water, electricity, healthcare, and education. But what if we don't have access to affordable infrastructure to support these basic rights? We are looking for a change, a better future for all. But without education and access to information, change can never happen. Welcome to IO Verified. We're not looking to just uplift and inspire our staff, but to empower and enrich the lives of communities, allowing small businesses to grow and build a future for themselves and enrich the lives of those around them. Join us today. Help us be the change and inspire the future.
Welcome back, everyone. Here is your grid for round number 3. And then we're going to get raced. So it is Lucchesi, Haynes, McIntyre, Grubler, Gerber, Ottens, Nagel, Gibson, Zerke, Rowe, Prius, Hancocks. Your top 12. And we're going to run through the remainder of the grid. And then we're going to go over to the race. 25 cars out on circuit for Lime Rock Park. It's certainly going to be an interesting race. Main thing is, though, can everyone keep it the correct way round? We had a relatively good start down into Summit Point even a couple of weekends ago, a couple of weeks ago. Are we going to see a similar thing? The lights are just about to go on. There's a bit. Was that Callum McIntyre? I think Callum McIntyre had a false start. He might get a penalty for that. We'll have to see. Everyone now goes down to someone. There's already someone that's gone off. Can't quite see who that is. Either way, it is Lucchesi, Haynes, McIntyre, Gerber. McIntyre's gone off. Loads of people have gone off. That is certainly something that we didn't want to see. Absolute carnage. Not as many people went off as I thought, to be perfectly honest. I thought it was going to be more than that. But certainly turns out that there wasn't, very luckily indeed. We see that's a fair. Tim Haynes is one of the people that did go off down onto the exit of turn 1. So we've got already a couple of replays to have a look at, certainly, as everyone now comes down as we go. Whoa, big there for Arno Kraus. Massive lock up there, letting almost everyone through. He's leaving it very well. That's another big incident there. The number 38. Massive incident from the number 38. Who was that? That's Stephen Koenig. Huge incident. And that's multiple cars involved. And that is Arno Kraus only just getting going again. The 38 and the 90, the 898 as well. That is Ferdinand Kurtzen. Certainly not good at all. There is Luke Lucchesi. We've got a 1.7 second gap. This is certainly Jeff Hancock's has gone off as well. Can't quite see where that is. That's coming onto the exit of 1 and 2. Certainly, well, I thought the race start that we had at Summit Point, this has definitely had more action at the start of it. Wow. That's turned everything on its head really a fair bit. And we've got 2 laps into a 35-lap race. There's someone else that's gone off here as well. I can't quite see it. I think that was Yaz Samai that went off. Has he dropped a few positions? Yes, it was the number 7 of Samai. So he's dropped several positions, unfortunately, now. Bit of a battle, actually, on circuit from Nebrega and Rowe. Rowe goes up the inside of Nebrega. Is this going to be a move that he's going to make? Dives up the inside. Little bit of running over the curbs there, but managed to keep it in check. Nebrega just thought he was going to have another look around the inside, but decides against it, though. We've got a lot of, certainly, a lot of replays to have a look at, and if we can do so, we're going to have a look at one here. This is Callum McIntyre. So what actually happened to Callum? He just goes in a little bit too aggressive, and unfortunately gets collected by Johan Grobler. So that was what happened to McIntyre there. He's dropped down all the way. What is that? Into, trying to see where Callum McIntyre, all the way down into 15th at the moment. Long way to go though. We're already only 4 laps into a 35-lap race, so we've got a fair while to go. That's a bit of some blue flags, I think, coming in. Couldn't quite see that. So it's the number 38, so that is Stephen Koenig. Just getting through some blue flags. Whoop. A little bit of some... Is that Callum McIntyre into bits? I reckon he got that false start. I reckon gave him a penalty. Actually, that was repairing some damage. Or did he have another off? I think Callum McIntyre had another off. Let's have a quick look. Does he get... Oh, a bit of netcode. Netcode from the 24. Who is the number 24? The 24 of Tian Jacobs. That definitely was a bit unfortunate with the amount of netcode that was there. So big shame there for Callum McIntyre. Very well, really good in qualifying. Absolutely sent it in quali. Just unfortunately hasn't materialised in the race. Tim Haynes is trying to make his way back up the field now. He's only a couple of tenths behind Yanman Paris. The number 814. So as they go through down into trying to keep the car in check as possible. Already you can see Tim Haynes all over the back of Paris. Where is the move going to be, though? I'd imagine turn 1 is where that move is going to be. That would be the most sensible way to make the position. Could be a little bit earlier, though. It depends how quickly Tim Haynes decides he wants to get by. Bull Gerbera is in P2. Little Chessie is now 4.4 seconds up the road. Absolutely running away with it. Depends if Tim Haynes can get a run. He has got a run. Is that a crash on the pit entry? It looks like it. I wonder what happened there, but Tim Haynes goes up the inside of Paris. Is that going to be a move? I believe it is. Paris tries to hold it around the outside. Car, unfortunately, hasn't got enough grip to keep there at the moment. Ferdinand Kurtzen, what happened here? This is going into the pit lane, I think. Could it be... I wonder if it's a tap on the grass, or is it just misjudging braking? Yes, that's certainly not what you want to do. Just a small misjudge of the braking point there. Locks up. That was what happened there. Grobler versus Hancock's. Hancock's trying to go for the wide line, trying to get the cut back. But Krubler decides he doesn't want to give up that position too easily. That was a half a spin. Couldn't quite see who that was. Who was that? That might have been Dean Cabasa. Had a bit of a half spin there. There's some more carnage, a big carnage. Actually, if several drivers off, I think there was Ottens, I think Samai's gone off as well. A lot of drivers losing a lot of positions here. Wonder who that's going to be. Again, another replay to look at. Here we go. This is Yas Samai. Is it you? Just a search on the grass. Wow, how close do you want to... that was very well saved by... very well saved by everyone there. Andrew Barber's also had a... this is coming... Ah, that was Andrew Barber there. What a save. I mean, you can't really ask for more than that, can you? That was very impressive. There is the aftermath of Riccardo Tafani's incident coming down to the final couple of corners. It's all kicking off here. Lime Park certainly never disappoints the amount of action that we've got. Riding now, actually going to go through White Kurtzop. Whoa, that was a big send there. Was that Ryan Ottens? What a send that was from Ryan Ottens. Just caught the tail. He just caught that. What a move to witness there. Ryan Ottens decides that I want that position. That is not a corner where you overtake any time, let alone going through down into, you know, it's, yeah, that was a big send from quite a ways back as well. So fair play for Kursop to give him the space. Very impressive. Tim Haynes is now trying to get past Nobrega again, so this is something that a little bit of deja vu here. I wonder if it's going to be a carbon copy. Is it going to be the same move coming through down into turn 1? It's going to be possibly here. No, Nobrega decided he's going to cut that off on the inside. You can see, oh, bit of a tap there. A small bit of a tap there from Tim Haynes. Now, I wonder, couldn't quite see where that was. It was a very tricky camera angle to witness that from. So I wonder if we can get another moment there for Nobrega. That's gone from bad to worse for him in the space of 2 corners. Oh, that's a bit of a tricky one, actually. That's a very tricky one in terms of what actually happened there. If we can have a look at it from the blimp cam. That'd be an interesting one. Stewards may be wanting to look at that towards the end of the maybe possibly at the end of the race. I don't know. That's gonna be that's a very tricky one. That is really. I don't know how that's gonna be. I don't know how that is gonna be looked on. But either way, we will have to see. Tim Hayes is setting some very fast laps either way. The fields have broken up a little bit. There's a couple of packs of cars that you can see sort of scattered around. There's nothing that's really, the calm before the storm. Ryan Ottens is catching up at quite a rate of knots to Thonius Botha, so we'll keep an eye out for that and see how that's affected. This is Ryan Ottens. I mean, he's absolutely sent it on Gamba. I wonder if we're going to see a similar send here. Just again, all 4 wheels off the circuit. There's this possible send. I thought it was going to be a send there from Ottens, but no, not this time. Goes through down into the last corner, loses a little bit of downforce. We can see there that both is just getting on the defensive line already. But Ottens decides he wants to try it around the outside. It's a brave move there if he can get it sorted. And you know what? He's even got to sort it before the first corner. Before they turn in, he's almost able to take his normal racing line going through there. So he manages to keep it all in check. The Watton's now up into P7. Tim Hayes up into P5, and he might even try and make a move on Zerke. Is this going to be... It might be down once again into turn 1. There is the back of Zerke's car. You can see in the bottom right the speed that he is carrying. Are we going to see coming down possibly? Nope. Decides against it once again. Tiny little bit of push there. Tiny little bit of push from Tim Hayes. You can just see at the front end. That will be because he is behind someone. You do lose a little bit of downforce there, bear in mind. Bit of a cutback possibly. Oh, that's a bit of a nudge. That was a big whack as well. And Tim Hayes certainly made the intentions clear for Simon Zerke that he wants to come through, I feel. Got another lap to do it. Is this going to be the lap? Does he get a good exit? He does get a good exit out of the last corner. Uses just about all the track and a little bit more as well. Is this going to be down on the chopper cam now? Sends it up the inside. Are we going to see Zerke try and pull it back? I thought we were then, but no moves so far. Actually, that was a very, very calculated move from Tim Haynes. And he now moves up into P4. Next person along from Tim Haynes is Daniel Rowe. Now, Daniel Rowe is about 1.4 seconds up the road from Tim Haynes. Depending on the lap times, we'll see if that continues to drop down. A bit of fighting in, actually, a little bit further down the field in terms of positions, but a little bit higher up the field, further up the field in track position. This is Arno Kraus and Jason Gibson. After the instance that they had, they're having a bit of a battle. 3 or 4 tenths is the gap that separates them. Cursor, oh, big moment for Cursor. What has happened there? I know there was a bit of back and forth, but I wonder, Callum has gone off the track. Yeah, that's McIntyre's gone off the circuit. What happened here? Is this a touch too late on the brakes? Possibly just getting the car. Oh, yes, that's... Oh, that was a big hit. Oh, that was a big, big hit. And How on earth? Everyone missed that. I don't know. There is Kersop coming into the pits now. Wowzers, that was very, very close. And Tim Haynes is already on the back of Daniel Rowe. What on earth has happened here? I wonder if Rowe is getting held up a little bit by the traffic. That's my only guess as to why that has happened. But wow, that was certainly something that was... Yeah, Tim Haynes is just on an absolute stormer. Paul Gerber's 2.7. Do you know what? Tim Haynes has got a shot of going back to where he finished, actually, at the moment. He's, up into P2. He certainly would do it. There's nothing saying that he won't be able to do it at this rate, because he's got some really, really good pace. We can see that is Grubler, Johan Grubler going through down into... up into P11, taking De Brega on the inside, down into turn 1. That has been a very, very calculated move as well. Was that all? Bit of contact between Nagel and De Brega. Manages to get off of the circuit. Tim Haynes on Daniel Rowe. This is it. This is the move for P3. So Tim Haynes coming now down into... Oh, God, that was a bit of a touch there. I don't think Daniel Rowe could really have done much at that point. He was washing wide anyway. And that is... Oh, he goes deep down into turn 2. So that has cost him quite significantly, unfortunately. So Tim Haynes drops it down now. And he's up into P3. Next person along is Paul Gerber. And Gerber is only there. So Tim Haynes is already up into P2. We're halfway through the race. Bang on halfway through the race now. Luke Luchesi hasn't actually been on camera at all. Is he going to mind? Probably not, to be fair. I don't think he's going to be overly fussed, really, because he's currently 12 seconds up the road, which I'd find absolutely astonishing. So he 12.2 seconds now the gap. Last lap was a 49. Now, in comparison, the only other person that was in the 49s that last lap was Ryan Ottens. We know Ryan Ottens is on an absolute roll, and that last lap was a couple of tenths quicker. De Brega is in the pits. I wonder why. Gerber's had an off as well. Ooh, what has happened? Number 69. In the brown car. Can't quite decide which way he wanted to go. Oh, on the curb. That will certainly do that too. If you touch that curb on the inside there, you're trying to take the pace in. Unfortunately, that will not end well. What's happened to Jeff Hancock? He's had a moment going down into turn 1. Oh, just touches the grass on the exit. Does he keep it? No, unfortunately, he does not. Did the right thing, though. Held the brakes. Tried to stay as predictable as possible. So he did exactly the right thing. Gerber now, he's up into 11. There's been a couple more battles as well. Tian Jacobs, we're just being told, has had a moment. In fact, it's a big moment. Oh my goodness. Who on earth is that? Who on earth was that? I think that might be Yanaman Paris. It was. What on earth happened? Okay, we got to rewind this. So, here is Tian Jacobs, number 24. Is it going to be touch the wall and touches him? Oh dear. Yep, that's not gone well. No, I think that was a bit. Why? That was a little bit naughty. Ryan Otten's had reflexes there like I've never seen. Oh, that was a tricky. That was a tricky one. I just want to go back a little bit further and just watch that again. So coming through, possibly from a slightly different camera angle, down into. Regardless of what happened, whether Jacobs had held the brakes or not, I feel that is certainly a car that has seen better. Oh my goodness, that has seen better days. That Porsche, the number 814. Yes, I feel that regardless what happened there, Tian Jacobs was never going to get that car at least pulled up in the correct position. So very, very unfortunate there for Jacobs and also for Paris as well. That is just the way that it goes sometimes, and it's very, very unfortunate. Atti Nagel has actually just passed Ricardo Tafani, who has been done. In fact, let's see if we can get a replay of that overtake. In fact, here it is. And the reason why is because Tafani went a little bit wide. You see just a touch of the brakes, a brake lock up there going into the first corner. And Nagel decides that he needs no second invitation. He wants that position sooner rather than later. Callum McIntyre has just made a move up the in. I think this was coming down. Oh my goodness, there's a bit of a battle here as well. So Callum McIntyre just sending it all the way through, all of the Pixel Porsche, the Team Try Hard Racing. That's certainly not ideal. I think it was a bit of team contact there. I think Du Gerber just got a little bit of a tap there from his teammate. By the way, it's helped Callum McIntyre. He's gone, well, thank you very much. I'm just going to go through as I normally would, and I didn't really need to do much in all honesty. He didn't need to do all that much. But I tell you what, the racing is certainly it's certainly become a spectacle for us, isn't it? Lime Rock Park, as I said, never disappoints, and especially when you're at the old circuits. This is a fast circuit, and in fact, what I'd like to do is get the dashboard up for you, just so you can see. This is Paul Gerber's current Delta, and have a look. It very, very rarely dips below 100 kilometers an hour. And in fact, I don't think it does dip below 100 kilometers an hour, if I'm perfectly honest. Just have a quick look. So we're down to 160 Ks going through. Again, 4 wheels off the ground at 170 kilometers an hour. Certainly, you've got to be a little bit bonkers to do this in real life, wouldn't you? Onto the grass. Both drivers on the grass. Oh, just touched the curb. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt Gerber massively. That's going to be really, really beneficial for Tim Haynes. This is going to be it. But either way, you saw, didn't dip below 100 kilometers an hour. This is a fast circuit, as I said. Haynes goes round the outside, tries to go around the outside. Has he done it? I think he has. Yes, he has indeed. So, Tim Haynes round the outside into turn 1. And is now up into P2, the position at which he started. Certainly somewhere I don't think he might not have been expecting to be in with 23 laps in this race of 35. So 12 laps left to go at Lime Rock Park Classic for round number 3 of the Refined Racing League Porsche Cup. Fantastic camera angles this, isn't it? I absolutely love the chopper cams for this circuit. It just really, really flows with the circuit very, very nicely. Yannick Paris has come out of the pit lane, and he's sort of been thrown into a bit of a battle between himself and the driver that unfortunately gave him a little bit of a nudge, shall we say, and that is Tian Jacobs. That gap's 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second now. It's coming down at a rate of knots. Is there? I don't think there's going to be love lost between these two drivers. We'll have to see. Is Paris going to try? I imagine Yanaman's going to try and get past Tian as fast as physically possible to try and catch up. I mean, 7 seconds is the gap between Jeff Hancock's and Paris. It's going to be a tall order to bring that down, but we'll have to see. It depends how long he gets stuck behind Jacobs for. There's Pretorius. There's a bit of a battle up the road. We're going to see if we can get a replay of that overtake that I believe has just happened. Nothing at the moment for Paris. He can't quite get by. Let's have a look, see if we can get the overtake here. And I can't quite see why that move was... Yeah, I can't quite see why that move was there. Why that showed us as a position gained. Can't quite see what happened. Oh, Paul Gerber decides to go do a little bit of grass cutting on the exit of the last corner. This will be the tyres starting to drop off now in these the final few laps. The tyres are starting to... they will be just getting worse and worse every single lap. They will be costing, and they will be... getting that little, especially if you're pushing these cars hard, you're pushing these tyres aggressively, it certainly will be costing you. So on track, so this is for, in terms of positioning, you've got Barber and Andrew Barber and Atty Nagel. Battle here between these two. 2 tenths, around about 2 tenths of a second. You can see in the bottom right corner in the battle box, the gap between Tian Jacobs and Yann Paris, they are up ahead in terms of track position. In fact, there they are, just going out of shot now, where they're battling for P18 and P19 respectively. So we've got a couple of battles on our hands, all at the moment for track position. I tell you what, this may be the best chance that Paris has got. He goes up the inside. He's got the move done. It depends. Can he get the car stopped in time? I thought he wasn't going to be able to there for a few moments. And in fact, Andrew Barber's gone off, so he wasn't able to get the car stopped down in turn 1. Yann Paris was. So the team heaped together. Number 814 gets past Tian Jacobs in the Team Try Hard Racing Porsche outfit. It's one of the 2 battles that we've got at the moment. One of the other battles here between Dean Cabassa and Callum McIntyre. In fact, this was a position gain by Callum McIntyre. Are we going to see a bit of a send? Oh, a cheeky little send up the inside there by by Callum McIntyre. So he has moved up into position. Back up into P15 now is Callum McIntyre. He's got around about an 8.5 second gap. That's quite a sizable gap, let's be honest. Going from himself and Ferdinand Kurtzop. I wonder if we're going to see that come down. In fact, the only drivers now, the only pair of drivers that are less than a second apart from each other, or was, I think, less than a second apart from each other, was Paul Gerber and Daniel Rowe. In fact, what's happened to Riccardo Defani? As soon as I move away, something has happened. Did Riccardo Defani have an off? Yes, he did, I believe. Let's have a look at the replay here. Is it a little bit too hot? Yeah, a little bit too hot. Down into turn 1. Just a tiny, tiny lock-up on the brakes. Doesn't take a lot. And it certainly sends the car around. Stephen Koenig has also been involved in an incident. What has happened here? That's a big, big incident for Stephen Koenig. Looking if we can get a replay of that. Instant replay here. Going down to turn 1 once again. Too much on the brakes? Yes, unfortunately so. Manages to keep it, just so close to keeping it on the circuit still. But unfortunately, was not meant to be. 6 laps remaining here. And Luke Lucchesi still leading the way by now a staggering 13.4 seconds. See if that gap does extend any more. 2 more battles happening now out on circuit. One of them which is Nebrega versus Samai. The other one, Rowe versus Gerber. The battle is sort of there at the moment. It's simmering, I would normally say, between Gerber and Rowe. It depends if the gap can be made. This is going to be a position here gained for Nebrega. Does he make the move? Yes, he does. Going into the second to last corner. Don't think we've seen an overtake there. But that is indeed the case. Overtake has been made. And that is now Nebrega. Very, very, very good stuff indeed. What has happened to Daniel? Did Daniel Rowe have a bit of an off then? I think he did. Jeff Hancock has also had a bit of a... did he... Oh, he came in the pit lane. I think he was trying to come in the pit lane. Unfortunately, it has not worked. Didn't work out as well as he wanted it to. And what happened to Daniel Rowe? Did he get caught? He got caught out a little bit going down into turn 1. There's the... Manages to hold it, though. Fair play. That could have been a pretty sizable time loss. He manages to keep it on the circuit. Barber versus Stefani. This has kicked off a little bit here as well, I've just noticed. Closest battle we've got on circuit at the moment. 4 more laps to go here at Lime Rock Park. Move very, very close, coming down. Nothing down into the last corner. Whoa, was that a send around the outside? No way. No way. Did that move just happen? Barber just... Was that? I so thought that was going to be... And this is why the battle occurred. Because there goes Barber. And then holding it on the inside for a brief moment. So that's when Barber got... Tefani passed Barber. And then this is the move as we come down into the last corner. I mean, committed is the word. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Daniel Rowe's had another off. What's happened to Daniel Rowe? He's gone off once again. All of a sudden, Simon Zerke, he's only got 3 laps to do it. But if he can manage it, a chance here. It depends. If Rowe can get caught up in a... If he's overcooked his tyres just a little bit, he just won't be able to get the power down like he wants to. This could very well be a bit of a battle. The gap just extended a little bit to 1.1 seconds. So it has come down. It has gone up ever so slightly by a couple of tenths. And I wonder if Daniel Rowe he's regained his composure and he'll be sailing back off into the distance. We'll have to see. He's only got 2 more laps. Or that is, and that will be the end of the race. Luke Lucchesi, 15 seconds is now the gap. He has tipped it over the 15. Couple of battles. There's no real big battles out on circuit at this moment in time. But again, anything can happen. We certainly know that. We all know that from previous experience in any form of motorsport. Anything can change. And in fact, here's a little bit here. Jason Gibson and Arno Kraus. That is down into turn 1, possibly. That's a send there from Jason Gibson. Is it too deep of a send? No, it doesn't seem to be. Kraus manages to keep it all in check. That's a move from Jason Gibson there. Calm, collected, and calculated. Very, very good stuff. And we have Stephen Koenig and Jeff Hancock's having a little bit of a battle. Down in P24 and P23. Half a second is the gap between those two. Not too far off coming on to for the white flag. That was a send for Nebrega. Manages to... Wow, very, very good stuff from Nebrega. That was fantastic to catch the tail end of that. There we go. Number 17 maintains his position. Ryan Otten's in the pit lane for some reason. Not entirely sure why. Possibly some incident limit, perhaps, or something along those lines. White flag has been raised. There is Luke Lucchesi in the Lego car. Certainly can't miss it, can you? 15.5 seconds. He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him in the 993. Just going to sit on... we're going to keep our eyes on Luke Lucchesi for these final couple of... These final few corners of this final lap. Until he comes across the line. A very, very dominant drive. Again, very, very fast. Absolutely relentless in terms of pace. And overall, certainly helped him. There's one more corner to go for Luke Lucchesi. As he comes through. Down. Final corner for the final time. And Luke Lucchesi taking round 3 victory here at Lime Rock Park, the classic circuit. Fantastic dominant drive from Lucchesi. Absolutely phenomenal. Here comes Tim Haynes and cutting grass just for good measure at the end. Managing to recover to P2 considering what happened at the start. Fair play indeed. Paul Gerber just finishing a few seconds behind in P3. Callum McIntyre. And this is actually a final battle here between Callum McIntyre and Weinar Kurtzop. Still having really trying to make it stick. Kurtzop in the 327 just ahead. It's going to have to be a last corner send. Oh, just gets a touch on the grass. That's going to be it, unfortunately. Not going to be able to make it unless it's a drag race to the finish. It's going to be a drag race, but Kersop is still going to get it. And yes, indeed, we do have... Because that was a good little battle at the end there, wasn't it? I think that was number 64. Who was the 64? That was Ryan Austin's getting involved there as well. Good little battle there from the drivers at the end. But that is it. That is the race done and dusted. It will bring you your final group results in but a few moments' time. And in fact, they're going to come out on the screen for you now. Here we go. Your official results after the race. Luke Chessie taking that race victory. Tim Haynes P2 with Paul Gerber in P3. Daniel Rowe takes P4. Simon Zerke in 5th. Johan Gruber in 6th. Ryan Ott in 7th. Linus Botha in 8th. Marius Pretorius in P9. Stu Gerber in 10th. With Ashley Nagel P11. Andrew Barber in P12. Ricardo Tafani 13th. Vino Kersop in 14th. Callum McIntyre takes 15th position. Yanaman Paris 16th. Tristan Dinabrega in 17th. And then Tian Jacobs takes P18. Yes, Savai P19, Dean Cabasa in 20th, Arno Kraus 21st, Jason Gibson P22, Jeff Hancock 23rd, Stephen Koenig 24th, and then unfortunately finishing 27 laps down is Ferdinand Koertzen with that very, very heavy hit at the start of this race. Wow, that was a race and a half, was it not? We're going to take a quick break in a few moments' time just to have a word with our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments to have a chat with the top 3.
Basic human rights: water, electricity, healthcare, and education. But what if we don't have access to affordable infrastructure to support these basic rights? We are looking for a change, a better future for all. But without education and access to information, change can never happen. Welcome to IO Verified. We're not looking to just uplift and inspire our staff, but to empower and enrich the lives of communities, allowing small businesses to grow and build a future for themselves and enrich the lives of those around them. Join us today. Help us be the change and inspire the future.
And welcome back, everyone, to the round number 3. What an interesting race that was. We have got the chance to chat with a couple of people, one of which, is we're going to have a chat with, is the one and only. We do have, I believe, actually, bear with me 2 moments as we start to bring everyone in. Do we have Paul Gerber in the house? I believe we do, Paul.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you? Congratulations on P3.
Well, thanks a lot, man.
How was that for you?
Quite a hectic race.
I can imagine it was. It certainly was an interesting one, shall we say. Talk us through it from your perspective.
Okay, so I got a decent start, and then in turn 1, the guys in front seemed to make a mistake and they spanned the cars. So I was able to get through and then just build a gap from there. Was actually quite lucky for that to happen in front of me. This is a tricky track to pass, so any free passes I'll take. I was then able to pull a bit of a gap, but the guys behind started catching, and I think Mr. Haynes, he was just a bit quicker than me, eventually caught up and passed me on turn 1. And then from there I was just trying to manage the gap with Rowe. He caught up quite a bit at the end, but somewhere through the back markers, I don't know what happened, but yeah, I think the gap grew a bit bigger, and then after that I was just basically maintaining it to the end.
Well, it was certainly a, as I said, from my perspective, it certainly got some certainly got some interesting racing on the go. Moving forward, in a couple of weeks' time into week 4, anything you're going to do differently in preparation for that?
No, not really. I think it's more just putting in the time and the practice, and just getting to know the track. Other than that, not really, eh?
Well, fair enough. At the end of the day, that's all we can ask for. Fair play again. Congratulations again, Paul, on P3. Very, very good stuff indeed. And we look forward to catching up with you, hopefully in similar circumstances in a couple of weekends' time.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Okay, Paul. And then we also have through here, I believe we have, is this Tim Haynes we are talking to? Possibly. Perhaps.
No, this is Luke.
Luke Luchesi. Apologies. Sorry, just getting used to the nickname. Congratulations on the win. First off,
did
you want to win by any more than 13 seconds? I feel that you almost lapped the entire field.
I was just trying to run my own race. Just be comfortable, be safe, not making any mistakes. It was quite a challenge getting past the lappers, though, because they're running their own race.
Absolutely. And I just want to sort of talk on that a little bit as well. Like moving forward going into that race, were you always under the impression it was going to be a traffic management towards the end?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't expect it as early as it ended up happening, but obviously a lot of people had incidents in the beginning of the race. So they obviously had to pit, so it sort of fed them back in. And it's a very short lap also, so...
Yes, no, it's very true. I think looking at the replay, you'll definitely see it was Summit Point was very, very clean, as was Alton. This was just a little bit more hectic, I think, the drivers at the start of the race. And it's one of those, as one goes, it's sort of all just concertinas up, and as everyone knows, Lime Rock Park can always throw some interesting racing your way. But overall, I mean, again, certainly can't complain. A couple of weeks' time, obviously, the final race of this inaugural season. How has it been for you in terms of the season itself? Is that something you're wanting to look to do more as well in the future?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll definitely join season 2. Obviously, last race I had an issue with the back marker in the lead of the race, so that cost me the win, I think. But yeah, you move forward with sim racing. It happens.
Absolutely. No,
You just have to pick yourself up and look to the next race.
Absolutely. No, very, very true. Very true indeed. Well, what we're going to do, Luke, we are going to say goodbye to you. Once again, congratulations on P1, and we look forward to catching up with you again in a couple of weeks' time.
Thanks very much, and just let me say that your stream is awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much, Luke. Really appreciate it.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, Luke. There we go. Luke Luchesi there, taking the win by a staggering 13 seconds. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well, that is it, and that is everything we have time for this evening. Thank you all again for you watching. It is very much appreciated and something that we look forward to catching up with you again in a couple of weeks' time. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the Tribe Nerds and Refined Racing channel, and make sure that you give this stream a like as well to help boost up. If you want to get involved as well, then please do let us know by searching up for Refined Racing. You'll be able to get involved with this season as well. It's certainly been an interesting one, and going forward there is always going to be more racing and more continued leads by the sounds of it, which again is something we absolutely want, and something that we really, really would love to be able to have you on board for as well. But that is everything. Thank you again for watching. We look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks' time for the finale here of the Refined Racing League Porsche Cup Season number 1. Take care. Stay safe.